Hey guys, Jesse here with Canine Perspective with another dog attack video. This one's interesting because it was a dog that arrived at looks like it escaped a neighbor's yard or home and walked up to this family's home. And when the woman went to open the door, there was a dog. Okay, now we don't have any dog attack footage here, but the husband, the father, made a great decision and it minimized the harm that was done. Now, quite a bit of harm was still done, but had he not done this approach, things would have been much worse. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and play this out. This is a news report, but we'll just hear it out. Okay.
It's this picture that starts our story. Valeria Cappuccillo snapping this photo after hearing something at the front door 2 weeks ago.
So one thing here, and this was just like all the wrong things at the same time. Opens the door, there's a dog. It's some kind of bully. It looks like a bulldog mix, right? Doesn't look like a pit to me, or maybe a pit bulldog mix. And her son comes running up at the same time, and the dog rushes in and attacks her child, her son. Okay, so here, she's just trying to snap a picture. Completely understandable, all those things, right? Would I have done things differently? I think as a human, you're kind of instinctually, I would most likely be on the same page here, right? But now knowing that this has happened, this now becomes information to me where I'm like, okay, I would handle that differently, okay? But in the moment, any human, I believe, would have done the exact same thing. So what I would say now after viewing this, right, is if you see a dog at your front door, crack the door open. You can use your foot behind the door, so that in case the dog tries to bum rush its way through, your foot's going to stop the door. Going back to that USPS seminar, one of the things that they said was that some people have doors with screen doors, and they'll open the door and the screen door will still be closed, and there'll be dogs, and the dogs will charge the screen door. So they've been taught to brace the screen door with their foot to prevent the dog from barging through and getting through the screen door, right? So it's essentially that same approach here. You crack it open to see who's there. You don't see anybody. You look down. Oh, there's a dog here, right? Bracing that door with your foot in case a dog tries to bum rush, okay? But I think any person instinctually would have done the same exact thing. So it's again, never any judgment. I'm just here to educate. But I could see this happening to anybody, including myself.
The peak. Literally opened the door like.
Her plan was to post that picture on Facebook to help this pup find its way home, but then came running her 3-year-old son.
So here, it feels as if she's explained the situation and what happened. So it looks like it looks as if she cracked it open and then opened it to get a picture. Okay, so that's where I would go no, like absolutely not, especially if you have kids and you don't know who this dog is, right? It's one thing if it's an 8-pound Yorkie. It's another thing when that dog looks probably between 35 to 40-ish pounds. Okay, doesn't seem like a lot, but that's a reasonably sized dog, especially when you have kids. Okay, so that's what I would have not done. I would have done the open the door thing, but like to open it completely like that, that's a no for me. Okay, but again, in the moment.
Iago.
And it just happened so fast. And I couldn't, I tried to stop the dog from, I even put my leg so he could like bite me instead, but he just went after him.
Okay, so kudos to the mom thinking on her feet, because that would be something that I would, that I've told people, like dogs typically go for the first thing, but this dog was in a predatory state, it sounds like. And was like, you're not my target. That is now my target, right? Viewing her son as prey. What I would have done is if she saw the dog coming forward, because something gave her the instinct to put her foot out, right? So she noticed something there, and if I'm in the moment, and this happens very quickly, right? Like me working with dogs for 16 years, specifically aggressive dogs, my brain already knows how to think quickly and knows to jump to solutions. Is I would have kicked the dog. That would have been my first thing, because that dog looks to be naked, maybe a collar. It would have been a full toe to the chest. Okay. Now, would this have escalated things? Possibly, possibly, but it was going to escalate anyways. I didn't make the situation worse, but it's going to be 50-50. Either I kick the dog dead in its chest and the dog goes crap and turns around and runs, or the dog now targets me. Okay, which I would much rather have. And then that's when the dog's going to target your foot, because the foot is when made contact. Okay, so more likely that if you kick the dog, you shift the dog's mindset from the child to you. Dog goes after you, probably going to go after your foot first. Okay, and then we figure out what's next in the moment. Okay, but at least I've protected my child, because even though this dad acted quickly and made the right call, he choked the dog out, which is what I always suggest to do if you can, and still a great deal of damage was done. Okay, but again, if he hadn't done that, it would have been much worse. I'm positive of it.
His parents say their neighbor's dog lunged through the front door, attacking their 3-year-old son.
Okay, so this is the son after the attack. Oh, the dog ended up removing, I think, the top teeth. You'll see the kid is missing teeth. It's a 3 to 4-year-old toddler. Right, and again, this is with the dad thinking quickly. How much was done within that short period of time?
My first instinct was get the dog off of my son, right? So choke the dog enough to go ahead and to where the dog kind of gave a little cry, let go. I went ahead and just picked him up and threw him outside of the house.
Okay. So choking a dog, again, in my opinion, is the safest way to get them off a bite. Okay, one, you're controlling the head. So if this dog is latched onto a son's face and then starts to shake, because the shaking is intent to kill, with that hold, you're preventing how much that head is moving. Okay, so again, you're minimizing how much damage is done. The bite is already happening. Your job is to resolve it quickly and mitigate how much harm is being done. Okay. So he jumps on, begins to choke the dog, right? And he's like just holding. In this moment, when the dog delatched, he thinks, throw the dog out the door, close the door. Okay. My only issue with that is that once the dog delatches, possible that the dog begins to become frantic, because you're cutting off airflow, you're cutting off blood flow. Okay. Now, because we're controlling the head, right, the dog can only do so much. You might get some scratches, maybe even some skin being cut through, depending on how good that grip is and where you're gripping on the neck. Is if the dog, as he's loosening, became frantic and then goes, now I need to protect myself, and then makes the dad a target, panic, and then like dropping the dog or something like that. So that's where I would be concerned. Me personally, once the dog delatched, I most likely would have just continued to hold the dog until unconsciousness or more. Okay, because that dog just latched onto my child's face. Okay, I think he is perfectly validated to do that, and people may not like hearing that, but it's human life over dog life. I just saw another video of a dog. It was their own dog. It was their own pit bull. Killed I believe it was a 6-month-old, a 2 to 3-year-old, and the mother. Okay, a pit killed all 3 of them. And the gentleman, the dad was like, I'm not going to, fall into stereotypes, and like he's keeping the dogs or not putting them, something like crazy like that. Okay, that's not how I think. This dad did a great job. He thought quickly. He did a chokehold. I don't know if this gentleman does martial arts or anything like that, which is why he jumped to that, because a lot of people don't jump to that conclusion. They usually panic, try to punch the dog. All those things do not help. It gives the dog more opportunity to do more harm. Okay, but this is why I stress choking a dog out when they're latched. It's just the easiest way. And even with that quick thinking, we saw how much harm was done to the young boy.
On their Ring camera, you can see the dog still wandering outside. The Amazon delivery driver even weary of the pup. While the police came to investigate, Santiago's parents rushing him to the hospital.
The dog ripped out 2 teeth, his 2 front teeth on top, ripped them out.
That's on top of the fractured bones in his face and scratches to his eye and eyelids.
But do you feel lucky that he's here right now?
Yeah, of course. How do we know, or how do they guarantee us any certainty that it's not going to happen again?
The reason why Santiago's parents are pressing this matter.
So, that dog, saw the kid running up, sounds like predatory state. Once the dad de-escalated the situation, threw him out the home, saw Amazon delivery driver not having any interest in him, but still staying on the property, which is, in my opinion, odd. I would expect the dog to go off and wander. Here, the owner of the dog talks about allegedly his dog bit the kid in the face, and they're like, well, we got a picture of your dog on our yard. We have him on the video camera. But the man not taking full responsibility is ridiculous. And again, in the other video that I did, you'd be surprised how often this happens. Okay, so a shorter video here, but just wanting to comment on this dad's quick thinking. Choking out, again, always, in my opinion, being the safest way if you can. If the dog is latched onto something, you can use your belt, you can use a leash, use the dog's collar by grabbing it and twisting up to constrict the neck. In this case, just put them in most likely a rear naked chokehold, which is the right call, to de-escalate the threat, to de-escalate the situation. All right. So I'm Jesse with Canine Perspective. Thank you for watching.